And we are live.
What is up?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We are back with another week of the Degen Report. This is episode 19, and we are joined by our friend, ButtonGlover, you might notice from around the community. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to you, Button. If you could just tell the people a little bit more about yourself, how you got into Cardano in the first place, and then a little bit about what you do in the space currently.
Yeah, my name is ButtonGlover. I have been in the space since September of 2021. I am the community manager for the Dead Rabbit Resurrection Society and an all-around NFT enthusiast.
Awesome.
Awesome. So, people most likely know you because of the Dead Rabbit Society. However, didn't those event maybe 4 or 5 months ago? So how did you build your following? Because you kind of have been in here for a very, very long time.
Yeah, so Dead Rabbits minted back in April, and I came probably 6 months before that in September. And so I started out with a decent following. I've had Twitter for a long time. I remember being in high school, and that was the one social media app that wasn't blocked. So I naturally had it. This was back in 2009, and I used it, and it was kind of cringy, and then I went through phases where I did and didn't have it and whatnot. But same account, and so then I got into the NFT space. I found out about. Well, I started on Ethereum, actually. I found out about these people who were making millions of dollars with pictures, and I was like, well, I'm going to find a meme on the internet. I'm going to make an NFT. And so I made 20 NFTs that's all this same meme on Ethereum. And I tried to sell it on Rarible, and nobody bought it. And I was like, I wonder why. Terrible. And then I ended up buying ETH NFT. It didn't do super well, and then I couldn't even sell it because the gas fees were so high. And I was like, all right, screw this. I'm out. No more NFTs for me. I'm done burning money. And yeah, I gave up, and then eventually I found a YouTube video that was talking about Cardano NFTs and these hype drops that were coming and all this stuff that was going on in this new NFT ecosystem. And I was like, okay, this seems a little bit, better entry point than Ethereum. So I'm going to go ahead and try it. And so I load up my wallet, and I get ready, and I mint Tiger Society. Was my first live mint, where it was they're announcing it, and then we're gonna send the ADA to an address, and we're gonna get the NFT, and that's how I started. Was just minting, and I grew a bit through a bunch of different NFT projects early on. I was in Tiger Society, I was in Ape Society, I was in Kongs, I was in Mastodon Buttons very heavily. And then eventually I ended up finding the founders of Dead Rabbits online.
Nice.
I found them very early on. I was one of the first 3 or 4 people to find them. And we talked about, what they needed and kind of where they were, where I was. I started by volunteering. I was like, I'm happy to help you. We can get a Discord set up. I'll be a moderator for you if you want. These are kind of the other projects that I've been into, and through more talks, eventually they brought me onto the core team, and I was able to help develop the project, which was super exciting.
Sick. That's pretty dope.
That is awesome. Did you ever imagine that Dead Rabbit Society would kind of become the top blue chip that it kind of is today, though?
So I thought we would do well. I wasn't sure exactly how well. We had this approach to growth that a lot of projects did not take, where we went very organic, and we, very, very clean. We didn't do a lot of giveaways. We found that giveaways are great, right? We love giving back to the community any way that we can. But when you run a bunch of giveaways, you end up with people who are only there because of the giveaway, not because they're actually interested in your project.
Right.
To be honest, we kind of began doing that, but then we kind of quickly learned that that the people joining the giveaways are like 90% just like bots, just joining and then never paying any attention to the content ever. So it's like the best way to kind of become bigger doing what we do is to kind of get those like viral clips like more so out there, which you guys also kind of did when you did these like local nodes.
Yeah, node keys were super great for us.
Those were fucking insane.
That was
Dude,
sick. I
it was
remember
so cool.
when Mitch found one, he like called me on my phone. He's like, "Dude, I got this fucking node. I was out here Ubering. I found it."
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That was what we were going for, right?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things we did. I was pretty jealous because I live in Connecticut and the closest ones were like New York, I think. And as much as I would have loved to take a day trip to New York to go hunt for a node key for a project that I work for.
Sounds kind of unfair, though.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that I don't participate in that I probably could. There's no problem with it, but it gives off that perception that like, oh, well, the core team is, they're participating, they're just going to win. And then also, like, I want rabbits to be able to participate, right? If I find the node key, somebody else who bought a rabbit, who's in our community, who's like grinding on Twitter with me every day, they're going to miss that opportunity, and that's not something that I want.
The cool thing about doing the nodes was that before like that day I found it, I knew about what you guys were doing, but back then I like wasn't in there like checking things out. But my buddy told me, "Hey, you live in Dallas, Texas. You should go find this." So kind of because of that, I kind of got super involved in the community even more, where I feel like with most other NFT projects, there's no big reason to join when like things like go up, when things pump, because you see most things are like, oh, I buy it for this type of art or this type of utility, where to be honest, there's not much utility going on in Cardano. So for you guys to do these like nodes where you more so go out, find these things when no other NFTs doing that to me is huge and like tells so much about what you guys are actually doing.
Yeah, I thought it was a blast. First of all, like it was wonderful being able to wake up every day and be like, who's gonna get the node key? What's gonna happen? We had people DMing us like they went with their family. They're telling us how much fun their kids had. Right? We had one guy go from where he lived to Atlanta 4.5 hours, 3 days in a row. Like it was cool to see people.
Did he find it ever?
No, he didn't.
Loser!
No, don't be
This
mean.
guy's a loser.
No, that's not nice. He had the opportunity to actually. That's why this is one of the reasons why I respect him a lot. Is he had the opportunity to grab it, and it was between him and a family with a small kid. And he said, as much as I want this node key, I've traveled at the time. It was probably like almost 20 hours worth of driving. You got to think it's a 4-hour commute there and back each day. Right? He said, no, like this kid is going to have so much more joy from that instead of me. And it was awesome. And thankfully,
cool.
at CNFTCon, we were able to get him one of the pins. So that was exciting.
Aw.
Yeah.
See, maybe I'm just like not a good person, because if that was the case with me, when say I saw this kid had this like 2,000 data node, then I'd just go over there, just go grab it out of his hands and say, "Oh, are you gonna tell your mommy?" And then I just drive.
Well, the kid's mommy was also standing right there.
Hey, when I ended up finding my node, that there were these two guys there, and because the park it was not a super popular Dallas park, you kind of knew what that they were here like for. So I'm guessing you guys are also here for the dead rabbit, and then they're like, yeah, and then I'm like, so are you guys into any other projects? And they're like, yeah, and I'm like, okay. so are you gonna tell me? And then they just like didn't tell me, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna beat both of these fucking dudes. And these guys were working together to share the fucking value of this node, and meanwhile, like I showed up maybe 30 minutes late, like found the node 15 minutes later in the easiest place there, but anyways, so a tiny bit ago, you were talking about the Kongs, which the Kongs recently hit a bit of a rough patch. Some people might call it FUD. Big T, would you like to expand on that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we're all kind of like familiar. Over the last week, they had two other team members leave, which was Benny at the bank and Swaggins. And then there was like the whole Taylor Wade situation, which was honestly like comical because everyone was talking about that and not like the team members leaving, and then everyone was can
you tell people about that situation?
Oh yeah, it was Taylor Wade's like this guy that you've like I've seen around the community quite a bit, and he was like, apparently he was Kong of the month. I don't own a Kong, I'm like not into Kong, so I didn't know he was Kong of the month, but apparently he was like Kong of the month. He was doing like a one-on-one trade with somebody in the community. I think he was doing it with Remy. Remy sent him the ADA. He listed, like, the Kong was listed, and he accepted an offer on it at the same time. So he basically got paid twice for the same Kong, and then he said he paid Remy back and whatever, but it was a whole stir up. So yeah, I think that was kind of like a FUD. I mean, it was, to me, that was just kind of like funny. Everyone like found a picture of him, was posting on Twitter, like doxing him, like that was wild. But more so, yeah, I think like, I mean, it's important to realize when like people, leave teams and like where that leaves the team at. I'm not really even sure anybody knows really why. I think they just had like some disagreements, which is like, that's fair. People don't always agree. So sometimes it's better to like, step away from each other. Overall, my stance in this space is that as someone who loves like CNFT drama, I think that most of the things are overblown and like out of context. Like most people just like to argue. Granted, I like to argue, so like I know where people are coming from because I like to argue about stuff that's overblown and out of context. But like most things, I think people find like a breadcrumb and then run with it and make it into like a big thing that it's not. So, look, I think all the best to the Kongs. Hope they get their mushrooms soon. But yeah, I think it was just kind of funny that the whole Taylor Wade situation was overshadowing like the team situation, because apparently like Taylor Wade was on a Spaces on Kenny's Space, and then like he wasn't, and then his like dad joined, and it was like 2 a.m. and his dad was like yelling at everybody. Like apparently it was like a funny ass thing.
You guys are bullying him.
Yeah, basically
like that.
Yeah, basically
Damn.
like that. It was like my son wouldn't do anything wrong, and like his dad apparently. Everyone was like, "Who is this guy?" And it was his dad. Like apparently it was really funny.
See, that dad deserves to be dad of the month for that. Like coming in being like, "How?" I mean,
do you though? If your kid is grown, like, do you?
Dude, honestly, if like
an adult, like I don't need my dad to defend me.
But like I say something like super outlandish, as I always do, and then like maybe on like fucking Shark Tank or Wallet Wednesdays, they're like that's stutter boy guy said this. Then my dad comes in, just begins like cursing people out. That'd be fucking legit.
I was so upset that I was listening to the space for 2 hours and I had to go to bed because then it was like 2 a.m. Like they had been going on this space all day. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So like I said, I think most things people argue because they like to argue. I like to argue, so I chime in. But most things I think it's just that way.
That drama is so fucking dumb. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know much about it, like before Big T just talked about it. But it's so fucking dumb because it got resolved like relatively fast. So it's like.
Oh, but I think it was like more crazy because he like apparently like scammed Remy and then like immediately like he deleted his Twitter, so everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then he had a burner Twitter and came back, and it was kind of crazy. But that's why it looked sus because like why would you take someone's ADA, not give them their NFT, and then scrap your account?
Yeah, that does look pretty sus.
It looks sus, and then he came back and was like, "I was just stepping away from." Like CNFT space, like because it's toxic. This proves that. But like, what did you want people to think when you took someone's ADA and then scrapped your account? Like that's a bad look.
Yeah, it comes down to play dumb games, win dumb prizes, and that seems like a pretty dumb game. Like, even if there was no malicious intent, you have to be really not thinking about anything to think, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this guy's ADA, I'm gonna delete my account, and people are gonna think that everything's on the up and up.
Does this type of like shit happen over in like Colays or Buds?
I will stand by the fact that I will stand
big communities, but it always seems that like Kongs gets in so much more shit than both Colays and Buds do.
I think that I like to say that Clay is like the unfuddable project. Like Clay's like they really do like. Their team at least kind of maneuvers in a way where I feel like they're very conscious about like the things that they're doing and like what it's going to represent in the community. And I think that like, you know, everybody on that team is very like smart about how they move. You could say that like some people in the community might be like say out of pocket stuff on Twitter. I think every community has that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think it is what it is. I think some projects like, you know, fumble a situation a little bit worse than others, and that just happens from time to time. But we're also in the middle of a bear market, and everybody wants to latch on to like whatever they can to like talk about for the time being. So I think that's kind of what happens. Like I said, not throwing stones. My house is glass. I'm the one that does it. You know, I do it too. But I'm just saying I'm aware of that. It's drama and it doesn't matter. I just like to participate in it. But I'm also saying that I'm aware of it.
These Kongs just need to smoke a blunt and just chillax. Do as their title says and just chill out. But then kind of going into the other drama, you see people like leaving the team, and you kind of think. Maybe is that because of the mushrooms drop, or is it like something else?
Yeah.
Where are you guys kind of at on that?
I mean, it's one of those things that we only know what they tell us, right? And from what I've seen, it's been handled very professionally on both sides. I know Swaggins personally, right? Like I met him at CNFT Con. We've conversed a handful of times in the CNFT space. He's a rabbit as well, right? Benny at the bank, I got to meet at CNFT Con. We don't know each other as well, but you know, you're in the space long enough, you bump shoulders with pretty much everyone. And so the only thing I've seen from them is, you know, we decided to go in different directions. It didn't. You know, unfortunately, we kind of have a difference of opinion, but that's going to happen, right? Not everybody's going to see eye to eye on some things, and when you join a team, especially like Kong's team has grown bigger than a lot of teams, right? Like they have, I know Deckard is on there, Aki, I believe, is still on the team. You have Solart, I believe, is like their marketing manager. You had Swag.
My boy Wantello, moderator.
Right,
Come on. Heyo, Wantello.
Shout out to Juan. I love Juan.
Shout out to
Juan used to show up to play Smash Cards. Yeah, Juan used to show up to play Smash Cards for Rabbits, and we'd have a blast. And that was also the day that I found out that Portugal really, 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 really wanted a node key. Because Juan showed up with every single Cardano NFT person from Portugal and was like,
Please.
Where's our node
yeah.
key?
No, it's crazy. It was one day. There was just like 200 people that came out of nowhere and were like, Portugal flag. I was like, I think it's Portugal. It's
Please,
been a
Button.
while. If I'm
he's
saying the wrong country.
he's from Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had him on like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and
Yeah, like episode
That
10, 8,
was
something
a
like that.
fun episode. But
Yeah. But so that's the thing, though, right? Like, as a team grows, there's going to be more people, there's going to be more opinions, and just statistically speaking, there's going to be more disagreements, most likely. And so when you get to a point where you're doing business, right? And the other thing, too, is you have to look at all the individuals, right? Like, every single person in the Cardano NFT space has something going on besides Cardano NFTs.
yeah,
Right? Whether it's fiat, whatever, and we're in a bear market. Right? I know a lot of people who were working full-time in the space, and because of the fact that ADA is now down to 30 cents and that crypto's down, and, right, like, it doesn't make sense for them. They can't do it anymore. You know, there's people who just can't afford to invest, 5 hours a day into crypto in NFT projects when the return for it isn't great because all of the currencies across the board are down, right? Like, it is what it is, and that's no one's fault. It's just kind of the situation we're in. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why teams would disagree and, why teams would move around or change. So, but overall, I love Swaggins. I love Benny. I'm really excited for whatever they do next. I'm sure they're going to do amazing.
Yeah.
Do you own any Kongs more, Button, or did you paper hand it?
I paper handed my Kong, like I paper hand pretty much every NFT. So this is kind of what happened, right? I had a Kong and I bought my Kong. I was happy with it, right? It's a white Kong with an umbrella hat and a dress, and I didn't like the dress. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the dress. It was fire, but for me, it was like, well, this dress doesn't exactly represent my masculine self. Does
it, or is it
somewhere?
I don't.
He was pulling a Harry Styles.
This, but
so somewhere out there exists a video of like 4-year-old Button in like full makeup and a dress, singing the Power Rangers theme song on an exercise bike that was like recorded with a camcorder on a VHS.
On the exercise bike, that's talent.
Dude, the exercise bike.
Because I would have been winded. I'd have been trying to sing, couldn't breathe.
Yeah, I was 4.
Yeah, I guess 4-year-olds kind of have like an unending energy.
Kids are weird, dude. Like, they don't have knees. It's wild.
They don't have legs. They don't have knees.
No,
they're just fucking snakes.
No, for real. Your kneecaps don't really form until you're like 4.
That's a real thing. So I've worked with kids for the past 5 years. Yeah, you don't get like an ACL until you're like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Like the structure of your knees just isn't.
That's why kids can That's why kids can like squat down and like just sit there for like a whole like minute, 2 minutes and like not feel anything.
Yeah, the human body's wild. I don't even remember what we were talking about. How we got this.
We were talking about Kongs with the dress.
Oh yeah. So the dress I didn't feel like represented me, and I also needed some aid at the time. So I was like, all right. I'll sell this Kong, and then later on, I'll buy a Kong that I vibe with, that I like, and I'll hold it. It'll be great. Ooh. And then I found out that I was a paper hands, and I missed the opportunity to buy another Kong.
Well, now might be a good time to buy back.
They've held pretty like where they were at like this past week, and I will say that it's like 1,300, 1,400, something like that.
That's not a bad buy-in.
And I will give Kongs. Go ahead. I was going to say I'll give Kongs their flowers, like as much as kind of up and down that they've had to deal with, like as far as from the community the past, like however long they've been around. I feel like they've had to deal with a lot of shit. They've like been able to kind of like hold it strong, fairly well.
They have a very strong community, and they don't let it be lost on you. Like, they're one of the biggest reasons for the smart contract adoption, right? Like, that wasn't a thing until Kongs pushed for it and was like, JPEG stores supporting royalties. We encourage you to buy on JPEG Store. We don't support CNFTIO. And all of the Kongs moving eventually led to a mass exodus of projects that were working with CNFTIO. Like, I remember the days Clay's announced their support for JPEG Store, right? They made an announcement. They're like, we've worked with CNFTIO. We've done the majority of our volume there. We love CNFTIO, right? Like, what they've done, but they refuse to support creators. And this marketplace is. We encourage you to buy on JPEG Store. And none of that happens if Kongs doesn't have that push to go there.
Yep.
Right? Or I won't say it never happens, because I think ultimately the market will always go towards value. And I think promoting royalties is actually a really big thing. Right? It's really important for projects to be able to make royalties to continue to grow and sustain themselves as a business. And so the market, I think, inevitably would have gone there. Because creators would always want to push for it, but Kongs was the catalyst for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely
Shout out the monkeys.
Get that.
You know?
There's not enough monkeys on our blockchain yet.
Yeah, let's get a couple more. So awesome. So moving on
we got
from
a lot of monkeys, bro. We got a lot of monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh,
we like
not
monkeys,
nearly enough. See, why do
More
you think
monkeys
are so popular on our blockchain?
It's trendy.
So I don't think it's our blockchain. I think it's just
it's trendy.
Blockchain in general. But I think the real reason is because it's a non-human thing that humans will vibe with the easiest, right? Like,
because we too are very similar to these monkeys and all.
Yeah, they're
like that. They are the closest you can get to being like T, but being a part of the part of the animal kingdom. I mean, look at T. He resembles a chimpanzee.
I'm more of an orangutan. I would hope.
Yeah.
You know, that's.
I'd like to think I'm a gorilla. My ex-girlfriend would say I'm a hippo.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
And
this is why she's an ex.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why we moved on.
Yeah. See ya later, nerd. Button single no.
Let's go.
Button is for sure a rabbit.
Button is a rabbit. Button will always be a rabbit. Dead rabbit till I die. Yeah.
He's getting a tattoo soon. Let's move on.
So, kind of going off of that, so it's been like 6 months since you guys first minted. Where can you see the DRRS be in 1 year's time?
Oh, man, that's a good question. So, 1 year from now, I think we will have thousands of people playing the Mole Wars app. I think we will have moles and rabbits on the blockchain. I imagine we will have awarded a bunch of dead for playing Mole Wars. Yeah, I imagine that our art will be synonymous with the Cardano ecosystem. That's one of our goals is, right, when people hear Cardano NFTs, we want them to think, oh, yeah, dead rabbits and dead rabbits. I mean, there's other art that's absolutely synonymous, right? I think Clay's, I think Bud's. But when I think Cardano, right, I want to think rabbits. And so I think a year from now, as we establish ourselves more and more, right, like we're very established, but one of the things that sets projects apart is the time that they've been there. And it's crazy because blockchain moves so fast, right? Like we minted 6 months ago, and we're already considered like an OG project, kind of. Obviously, we haven't been around as long as Clay's or Bud's, but we were that first wave of 2022 projects, and it's crazy to think that we've been around less than a year, and we're already kind of like grandfathered in as this kind of like established situation here. So Yeah, I would say thousands of players playing Mole Wars, and synonymous with the Cardano ecosystem is where I think we'll be in a year.
Nice.
Damn.
Nice. And so for people that don't know, like, what is the Mo Wars like centered around?
Yeah, so okay, I'm pretty excited about it. So we have a bunch of stuff coming. So we just started staking for $Dead. You can earn Dead coin by staking your rabbits to DRRS pool, and so you'll earn Dead. In upcoming mints, we have weapons, battle class NFTs, and moles. Right, moles are like the antagonist of our story. If you have gotten the opportunity to read the Dead Rabbits lore, which I recommend you do, not because I'm a rabbit fan, but because I'm a story fan. I watch like a lot of anime. I've been watching a lot of fantasy. I absolutely love like the hero's journey and the telling of stories. And
Yeah, same.
in my opinion, Dead Rabbits does it just as good, if not better, than anyone in the space. The lore is like, I'm not much of a reader. I prefer to watch. And I'm hooked, right? Like, I think there's been 2 or maybe 3 projects overall that, hold on. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. I got a message. Needed to make sure it was an emergency. Yeah, like, it has me hooked. I'm like, as soon as it comes out, as soon as I get time that day, I'm reading it, or the next day if I don't have time that day, but usually, like, day of. It's well written. You see it from different perspective of different rabbits, and the main antagonist throughout the entire rabbit story has been the moles. And so those damn moles. And so we actually have a battle app coming called Mole Wars, where you will be able to battle not only your rabbits and your moles, but any Cardano NFT that you own that you want to participate with.
Sick.
Nice.
Yeah.
And like we've seen those like Pokemon-esque games. So is it gonna be like that, or when you talk about it, I kind of think like Worms? What type of game is it going to be?
Yeah, so I don't know much about Worms, but basically you're going to have your rabbit or your mole or your Outlander NFT, which is what we're calling them, which is any Cardano NFT that you'd like to use with an Outlander battle class. And so we'll have the weapons will boost your stats, and the battle class NFT will give you like a base character sheet set. So, like, the battle class NFT could have you have, like, really good strength and pretty good agility. And there's a bunch of different ways to build your character, right? So you can go really hard glass cannon into 1, right? So it's like, oh, I'm really, really, really good at strength, but my agility's low and my wit is not so great. So I'm going to get beat by those classes, but if I come up against a strength-based class, I'm going to dominate. You can balance them out. So you can be really good at 1, kind of good at 2, but you can't be good at 3, right? And so it comes with all these different, like, metas that you can do by switching weapons and building your character. We're going to have leaderboards so that when you battle, it gets placed on a leaderboard, and we'll have, like, monthly leaderboards where you can earn Dead for placing high. It's really exciting. I'm super stoked for it.
That sounds sick.
So the way it sounds, it's going more so down this type of RPG, like you use this attack, I'll use this attack to counter this attack.
So
and kind of like that, or
I best describe it as like a critical thinking strategy game, right? Where it's like, okay, I have your battle class NFT gives you kind of your base. Right, like these are my stats. I have 10 strength, 3 agility, 4 wit, right? And then you have your weapons, which gives you boosts in certain classes based on what you have. And so then you get the strategic choice of which weapons do I want to pair with which battle class NFTs to make sure that I'm winning these fights. But then there's counters to it, right? It's like, oh,
Nice.
well, I want to, I want to be a really, really strength-based character. Well, you might be really, really in trouble if you come up against somebody who's agility-based, right?
Yep.
Or if you're agility-based, you might be really, really in trouble against somebody who is wit-based, right? And so, but then you have this weird, this strategy that plays into it. It's like, okay, well, this guy is pretty good at strength and pretty good at agility. What do I do? Right? Like, how do I counteract that? And so I'm really excited to play. I can't wait. Big D, who is the one who's built the Secret Goats minting service, is building the battle app for us. We are super excited. In my opinion, he has the best mints in the space. He did Blurry Kits. He did Journey. He did Dead Rabbit's mint. I love a lot of the minting services in the space. I have friends that run them. I think they're amazing.
Same as us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, I absolutely love those. But for me, my opinion is that Big D has the smoothest minting service. And so I'm super excited to see what he builds for the battle app.
That's sick. Yeah, I think the minting space is really interesting, right? Because I feel like you see like a lot of, I don't know what you want to call it, centralization around like the marketplace. We all use the same marketplace, but as far as the minting service, I mean, it's like everyone's just duking it out to try to be the best minting service. And it started off with having like InMaker, and now there's like 10 different services, and they're all equally as good. So I feel like it's awesome. I think it's great.
The thing I'd love to see is like minting services like finding their niche. Like maybe this minting service is like better, but it doesn't provide any utility, or maybe that this one's not as fast, but then there's like better chances at doing like utility mints later on and things like that. Because even when we talked to Peppermint last episode on how they're different, it didn't sound too different than like whether that be Anvil or Endmaker or any of these other ones. So
I mean,
like,
go ahead.
Go on.
I was just gonna say I think that like you find those differences when you interact with those people when you're trying to mint an actual project, right? Like, we're not minting anything, so I don't know what those conversations look like. I don't know what kind of like materials they're asking for to provide so that they can facilitate that. I feel like the minting service all comes down to like the ease of access and the communication with the team that's running the mint, right? And I feel like if you're not in that circle trying to do that like specific transaction, everything kind of looks the same, because from the outside when you're minting, unless you're InMaker, which I think is not that great, personal opinion, but I feel like from the outside it's not that not that different as far as an experience wise.
Yeah,
but leave it to us to talk out of our asses.
I mean, for real, but I'm sure Button can speak to that too, right? Like,
I can speak on it a little bit. I was not super involved in the decision-making process around the Rabbit's Mint, but I would say I have more insight than the average community member, especially because I've minted a lot. Right, like I have used Peppermint, I've used Ada Anvil, I've used Endmaker, I've used Secret Goats, I've used JPEG Store's minting service. Right, like I don't think I've used Wild Things minting service. I don't think there's one that I haven't used. And so I think when you're making that decision as a project, and by the way, any project that's listening to this, you need to do your own research. This is not financial advice, right?
Never is.
But there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things to take into account, right? It's like, how much do you need as a team, right? How much help do you need, right? Do you need no help, right? Do you have almost a dedicated dev on your team? Well, maybe Endmaker's right for you because it's the most affordable, right? But it also is the most involved as far as work goes, right? Like, you have to upload all of your own images. You have to deal with your own metadata. Right? It's just a tool that allows you to perform the mint yourself, right? And they have support in the Discord, I imagine, and I imagine they also have people that you can hire to help you with it, or some sort of networking for something like that. I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't used it. That's not my experience. Right? Or maybe you need a whole team to handle that for you, right? Maybe you're just artists and all you know is, well, we draw art. That's it. We want to, but we don't know how to do metadata. We don't know how to code. We're not super savvy in blockchain. Well, maybe you need a more in-depth service, right? Maybe you need more tools built than just your minting service, right? And then you look at something like Ada Anvil that develops more than just a minting service, right? They have other tools you can use. I imagine that if you said, hey, I need this built, they would be able to help you with that. I don't know, again, right? Like, you would have to talk to Cash about that.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, Anvil's definitely like pushed the envelope though, like for like the Goetia Godia, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like they were accepting like 9 different like what am I trying to say? I just lost the word. You know what I'm trying to say?
Different
like,
tokens, yeah.
Different tokens, like Cardano tokens, yeah. So like, and I think like that's definitely pushing the envelope, yeah. So I think that I mean to agree with Button, I think that in any industry you'll find like providers for like a similar service, they kind of like fall into like their own categories based on like the needs of the people that are approaching them, right? Like some people are, like Button said, are going to be a lot more hands-on, and that's going to cost more money, and that's just like the way it goes, right? So I just think that that's kind of how like the minting services will kind of find their own like little spots. Is like you said, like some are going to provide a more basic service, and some are going to provide like some crazy cool shit, and the cool shit costs more money. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and it's all going to depend on what you need as a project too, right? Like Wild Tangs, I believe, has a minting service. You can use it for free if you own a Tangs.
Yeah, if
right?
you own a Tang, which is sick.
I own a Tangs if I wanted to drop a 500 project. I could use Tang's minting service. I don't know how in-depth it is or whatever. I think you're limited by the number of Tangs you own based on, it's like 500 each or something, but...
That's kind of a badass idea, though.
Yeah. Tangs has been building stuff since they minted. They built like a cart
sweeping app
for JPEG Store. There's a like a mobile app that displays your NFTs. I mean, it just comes down to, what do I need as a project? How do I, do what I'm doing, and what services get me there and make the most sense for me, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, awesome. So moving away a little bit.
Tyler.
Huh?
So I kind of like that topic.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, you can go with the next topic.
He just deleted it.
We have a doc on like a different screen, and like we'll no, I didn't delete it. I moved it to the bottom. I like to we'll move the topics around like while we're talking.
Yeah.
Button. Who in the community has like shaped you the most when it comes to Cardano NFTs?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I would say it comes down to two people two groups, I guess. One is one person and one is a group of people. The first one, I would say, her name is Wednesday. Wednesday is the community manager for Mastodon Buttons, which is a super OG Cardano project and one of the communities that I spent a lot of time in prior to becoming a rabbit. And so watching her manage that community and kind of do things the way that they do it was really big for me, kind of moving into this role. And I would say the other group is the 2500 Club. If you don't know, it's a group of Cardano's most elite, where...
Why am I not in it?
It's a small group of Cardano's most elite run by BuffyBot, and, it's got people like 45 Jeff, Cash,
Who?
Fauci. 45 Jeff?
Who?
Are you just trying to ego Jeff right now? Are you just trying
to
ego Jeff?
Mitch does that when someone says something that's very obvious, and he'll go, who?
Who? Who are these people?
Yeah.
Bowie? Bash?
Fauci, Flat Dark Earther. I spent a lot of time in there prior to Rabbit's Mint.
So mean. I'm sorry.
It's fun. I love those guys. And
Me too, man.
Yeah, it was cool learning Cardano NFTs with them and growing. And it's been really cool to see where everyone ended up, right? Like you have like Blue Collar Crypto is now working for Virtua. 45 Jeff has his own project, right? Like all these people that are right, like Cash now runs one of the biggest minting services in Ada Anvil, and you know, not all of these people are super active or as active in the 2500 club, but you know, Cardano's best and brightest. And listen, if you're buying in the 2500 club because of that, you don't. Mostly it's us just in a group chat losing money. The majority of the time, I'd say that's what we do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say the 2500 club and Wednesday from Mastodon Buttons had pretty big effects.
Completely get that. Do you remember the Cardano meme war of 2021?
The Cardano meme war of 2021. I do believe I remember, if I'm thinking of the same incident.
I'm pretty sure it was 2022, the beginning of 2022.
What fucking year is it, man? Shit.
It's 2022
Shit.
right now.
Yeah, I haven't been outside
dude.
in 3 days. I don't know.
Yeah.
But going back then, it was the goats versus the Kongs, and then back then I kind of joined in it, but I went more on the Degen, like the DCC side, because that was the project I was getting involved in. So doing memes over there, I kind of like fell in love with the whole Cardano community as a whole, and I also learned there's so much area to grow the community over there. So with people like fucking Oxy, Connoisseur, Salad, these people that like built their type of identity over on DCC and then kind of branched out to doing more things. They kind of taught me more so about the community than like anybody else before that. Now these days it's like, to be honest, I am not nearly as devoted into Cardano NFTs as I was back then, which is kind of natural and all, because shit's so bad currently. It's very easy to like not dive too deep and like focus on FUD. But these days it's more so like project owners that like find a way to kind of bring life to their projects even now. So people like Surge from Ugly Bros, people like Peppers from Cypher Cakes or Ikigai, people like Jub from Happy Hoppers, people like Max from Universe 25, like seeing how they keep on bringing more and more to their NFT project and to their community has kind of like shaped the way I kind of view things now. So like even now on Twitch, I am always thinking about like where do I go from here. So like yesterday I invited my dad to the Twitch, like the Twitch chat, and my viewers and my dad were just bouncing back and forth, and like some of the things that they were saying.
Was he defending you for scamming somebody out of their ADA?
No. No. Maybe. Kinda. More so like taking their type of subs and donations. Because for some reason I'm worthy of subs and donations, even though I'm not. But kind of like bringing something new to the community that you don't see other projects doing. Like even now in Goats, because things suck, they're doing like game nights and shit. So it's like, how can we best like push the communities even during these times of fucking garbage and shit?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is consistency, right? It's showing up every day, even though it's hard, even though
Yeah.
things kind of suck, even though 8 is 30 cents, even though my bags are worth a third of what they were a year ago, even though all of this stuff is going on, you got to keep showing up and you got to keep grinding, right? And the reality of it is that we're in a bear market, right? It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. No one likes it. It sucks. But one day, I believe, we will not be in a bear market, and that is when all of what we do now is kind of for, right? And so it's hard, right? Like, I've seen across the board, right? Twitter engagement's down for every project. You know, right, like overall engagement's down across the entire space. Right, like Discords are empty more and more. Right, and this is the case for not just rabbits or not just like one or two projects, not just small projects. It's everyone.
All of them.
Right, the bigger ones get hit less, right, because they had more people to lose.
To begin with. Yeah.
Right, you imagine that like if you're a solid quality project, the people that are in your project are more likely to stay during the bear market than those that are not. But nobody's immune, right? I've seen it in clays, I've seen it in Kongs, I've seen it in buds. Like engagement's just down. Why? Because it's a bear market and everyone's gone. So I think the biggest thing is consistency, new innovative ideas, right? Having things to do, right? Like Rabbits hosts 5 games a week, and up until this week, we were hosting 2 utility events a week, right? That was 7 days where you could come and participate in a rabbit activity, you could hang out, you could vibe, you could have fun, you could do stuff, you could win prizes, right? And so having something to do, I think, is really important. Building a culture, right, around your community is really important. Like now, we have a lot of people who anytime they eat food, they post it. Why? Because that's what we've been doing for a month and a half, is we've been posting stuff in Munchies.
That is very, very, very funny. But back in college, me and my fraternity, we did something like that, but not with food. But instead, every time we'd go take a shit, we'd take a picture of it and then post it in the group chat.
Oh man!
So
yeah,
kind of
don't post that in Munchies. But yeah, it's been fun. We we're trying to figure out how to make ourselves better, right? Cooking more, one of them. Working out more is one of them. I started like a rabbit fitness kick because I posted a picture at the gym and everybody was like, "All right, we're getting swole with Button. That's what we're doing now. Everybody get out your gym tees, dude."
See, which is so good, and because so many people are dealing with the anxieties of like the market being down, so they need a way to get out of that. So maybe if people might be eating too much, so rather than doing that, you are like, no, we are going to get fucking swole, get fucking ripped with the Button himself.
Yeah. I will say, I've worked in the mental health field, right? I said I've worked with children for 5 years. 2 of those years, or I guess like a year and a half of those years, was working directly in the mental health field. It's called the therapeutic mentor. I worked one-on-one with kids on the goals set by their therapist. And yeah, it's a thing here. It's a pain in the ass, right? But realistically speaking, the majority of us are anonymous and we interact on a computer. Some people all day, right? Like that's all they do. Yeah. And for some people, this is the only form of community they get. Right? Like, there is no, oh, well, I'm going to go hang out with my friends. I'm going to go see my parents. I'm going to go see my family. Like, some people don't have that. Right? And so this is where they go. And if your community is all online, it's very, very easy to fall into this. Well, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to get on my computer and sit at my desk all day. And then I'm going to go to bed. Right? Like, it's important to touch grass. It's important to take care of your mental health. And it's important to touch grass. Grass, not ass.
Bro,
I
haven't
so
spelled
much.
either in a long time.
Yeah.
No,
when you were saying that, I said it
why
sounds
I
like
do-
Mitch's day to day.
Yeah.
See, this is why I do Pokemon Go, because it gets me out of the house, it gets me moving, gets me doing shit. So
It's-
you bitches judge me, but
Sometimes when you touch grass, it's not good. I tried to post like a picture in a Discord yesterday that I was touching grass, like I was on a walk, and I literally in the corner of the picture you could see the street signs like down the street from my house. So our friend B Dizzle had to hit me up and be like, "Dude, you put that where you live in that picture," and I had to go delete it. And I was
Dumb
like, "Oops, my fault." So sometimes when you touch grass, it's not a good
True.
idea, man. Yeah, dude. I was like, "Fuck."
Big T, so I know you didn't give an answer, but can we move on?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep it moving.
Sounds good. We are in deep, and we haven't even talked about anything else.
Yeah, we're moving away from CNFTs. Let's talk about the real world.
Those are boring. T, take it away, man.
This is a question that I've been excited for all day. So,
Okay.
Button, this one's you're gonna have to hit us off the beat. Well, you got to think about it maybe, but I'll let you go.
Okay.
If you had to pick one person to be the ambassador of the human race to meet aliens, who would you pick? Any person, the whole world, not just CNFT. You had to pick one person. I'm picking George Clooney because he's a handsome motherfucker and he's cool as shit.
But-
So I'm picking
man.
George Clooney.
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to think
any
about this for a
person.
minute. So
Yeah, they gotta be
it's
the
hard because
ambassador.
I think the easiest metric would be like, okay, who's the most popular person? But that's Kim Kardashian, and so then you have
Yeah.
to like figure out.
They dissect her fat ass.
Oh my god!
Jesus.
Then you got to figure out how to
How is
explain.
it so big? Beep boop bop, beep boop bop.
Then you
How
got
is
to
it so fat? Beep boop bop.
yeah.
Button's trying to really have a good point here, and you're over here talking like a
Well, okay, like you try explaining to me why Kim Kardashian is the most famous person in the world, right? Like, then you got to go back. You got to be
think
like,
we all know.
well, so really, the story is like there's OJ, right, who was this famous football player. Do you guys know about OJ Simpson? Was he before your
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, well, I'm
the fuck up, bud.
I'm not 12. I know about OJ.
Yeah. So
I mean, I am 12.
so OJ's lawyer is like Kim Kardashian's dad, and then she
Yeah.
got famous because she made a tape with a rapper, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's why she's the most famous person in the world. And then to explain all that to aliens, you have to explain football, right? It's like, okay, so
Oh, you're
who's this
digging
OJ
deep.
guy? Yeah, it's a real problem. So
But see, that's why.
Okay, actually, I have my answer.
George Clooney, he's cool and he's handsome. I mean, that's all. you need.
Andrew Schultz is my answer. He is a stand-up comedian. If you don't know, he's hilarious.
I was
think.
literally pulling up a new tab to Google because I was like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian. He's extremely funny. If you're easily offended, I would maybe go watch Jim Gaffigan or something.
Jim Gaffigan.
But yeah, I think Andrew Schultz is real enough that
He's keeping it real.
He would be able to maintain that.
Yeah, he's keeping it real because, like, what if the aliens want to come? Like, you've seen War of the Worlds, or they come try to get the water out the oceans and they start killing everybody. You know, he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man, that's our ocean. Like, we'll fuck you up." Basically.
Yeah. That man, I'm trying to think. I feel like there's maybe Tom Brady. I don't know what witchcraft he's doing, but you win
I
7
think he
Super
just got a
Bowls,
bottle of
make
alcohol.
it to 9.
So I'm really confused.
Did you just get a bottle of alcohol, Mitch?
Dude, maybe. But my whole idea of it is what human would be able to talk to these aliens. And to me, that would be Mr. Muskrat himself.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one makes a lot of sense, I think.
Elon would just go
Because-
up there and talk about how cool he is. Like, he wouldn't even do anything.
Dude, you don't think Tom Brady or George Clooney would? Are you fucking stupid?
I said Tom Brady.
Yeah, so I'm saying George Clooney would go up there and talk about how cool he was. Tom Brady would for sure say, "Oh, have
Tom
you
Brady
seen
literally
all
lost
my
his wife
fucking
so he could play football.
rings?"
So I mean, that's pretty wild.
Tom Brady. Listen, I am a Tom Brady fan. I am from New England.
Oh yeah, you're
I
in
live-
Connecticut.
Yeah, I live in Connecticut. I'm a New England fan.
He doesn't even play there anymore.
I'll
Yeah,
have you
He
know.
gave up on y'all.
I'll
He
have you
gave
know,
up-
Button.
He gave up on you.
Button, this is a very like side topic. I really just
Yep.
wanted to quickly mention. I've been to Connecticut like like at the very end of October. My wife and I were going to drive up. You're drinking sake? Is that what you're drinking? I don't know what you're drinking. Anyway.
Soju.
Anyways, we were driving up. We were going to drive up to Maine from North Carolina. Bad idea to do in one day. It was a rough drive, 14 hours. Yeah. So we got like all the way to Connecticut. My wife was really sick, so we ended up just turning back around and coming back, which was also not fun at all. But so North Carolina to Connecticut, I will tell you, I don't know what road I was driving on, but as soon as I passed through New York into Connecticut, I go over the bridge, finish out New York, go into Connecticut. That was the worst road I've ever been on in my life. I don't know what highway I was on, but it was dark. There was potholes everywhere. I couldn't see anything. There was like no lights. I was in the woods. I was like, where am I? I'm on a 2-lane highway in the woods.
Get ready, because I'm about to rant for a second. Connecticut's roads are fucking terrible. They are so damn bad. I don't know how you can charge me so much fucking money in taxes for me to drive on a road that is going to fuck up my wheel bearing every time I go on it because it's littered with potholes. It is so bad that there was a pothole. They fixed it, right? It took them 2 years, right? 2 years I'm living. I moved out of this town. I moved back to this town. And the pothole was still there. They fixed the pothole. And within a month and a half, it was back. They made these roads out of like fucking graham crackers and super glue. I don't know what is going on, but they don't know what they're doing.
Dude, it was we'd been driving for 12 hours. I was so tired. My wife was sick, so she's trying to sleep, and I'm literally just driving in the pitch black, just hitting holes, bouncing out of my seat. I drive a little Subaru, a little 4-door Subaru, so I was fucking bouncing around everywhere. I was like, dude,
it's terrible.
We ended up just stopping in the middle of BFE, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donuts.
We have a lot of those. We got a lot of Dunkins.
Turn around. Yeah, we have a lot of Krispy Kremes. I feel like y'all really just go crazy on the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, so Dunkin' originated in my city, but half, right? Half of the city I live in. I am. Let me put it this way: I am a 5-minute drive from at least 8 different Dunkins.
Yum.
Dunkin' Donuts, the coffee's not bad. The donuts are actually kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie, but
the donuts are mid. The coffee is meh. The
coffee's good.
The coffee's good for $2, and you shit your pants really bad. But that's the two negatives.
Yeah, I mean that's just coffee, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna shill someone right now. Sorry for it, but there's this guy, Brewer's Choice. I don't know if you know him. I don't know if you've met him. He brews coffee.
I've heard of him.
Oh my god, he has changed my fucking mornings.
Is it that good?
It's pretty good. Okay, mind you, my perspective is a little different. I did not drink coffee for a long time, right? I started drinking coffee 5 months ago, 6 months ago, right? I didn't drink coffee for a long time. Then I got really into cold brew, and then I was into cold brew and I was buying coffee. Then I started making my own coffee. Right, I would buy beans and I'd make my own cold brew.
Grind them, yeah.
Then I
fancy guy.
It's not. It sounds fancy. It's not. You just put a bunch.
Yeah.
The difference is with cold brew, you put it in a jar and then it sits for overnight versus hot coffee because it's hot. It takes a lot of the flavor instantly out of the coffee, so you can brew it really quickly. That's the difference. But when you brew it hot, it's really bitter because it pulls out all of the flavor, including the bitter stuff. When you do it cold, it doesn't pull out as much bitter stuff. Just good coffee stuff, which is why cold brew tastes so good.
I love the scientificness behind this.
Yeah.
Just the good stuff, and then there's bitter stuff, and there's good stuff.
Yeah.
He's so hashtag deep, though.
Yeah, and so, anyways, brewer makes freshly roasted coffee, and, I'll drink it warm, I'll cold brew it, it doesn't matter, it's amazing. And
So, before we get too fucking off topics, should we change topics?
yeah, maybe, probably.
Yeah, I think we all gave our opinion on the ambassador of the United States, or the world.
Okay, what was the biggest thing you did when you were a kid where you said to yourself, oh shit, I fucked up?
Ooh. Okay. give me like an age range because there are a couple.
I would say kids, like anything like under 12. I feel like when you start middle school, you're not a kid. Like, or you're not like a little kid.
That's a good one.
You're still a kid. Like, you're a kid when you're 16. But
oh, I know exactly what it is. So
Go on, man.
We had at the house that I lived at when I was a child. There was this fire pit, right, big stone fire pit, and my dad had some spray paint around somewhere, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" And I sprayed it in the grass. I'm like, "Ooh, it's spray paint." Okay, what am I gonna spray paint then? He's like, "Well, this thing looks cool. What happens if I spray paint it?" And so I spray paint the stone thing into just like a dot, and I'm like, "Ooh, that's
kind of sick.
yeah, that's pretty cool." So I go to the back part and I spray paint high right on top of it. Just high. Oh, my dad was pissed.
What was it?
It was like a stone fire pit grill thing. It was like I'd have to. It was like, imagine like a 5-foot giant stone like rectangle, but at the top there's a little chimney and it's clear, and then at the front of it is like basically like a big box made out of stone. But the top and the front are gone, so you can put fire under it, and then there's like a grill on top.
Damn, man.
Yeah, I spray painted
so it wasn't just your average run of the mill like hole in the ground where you got to burn some stuff.
No,
Cold,
no, this is like
cold fucking blooded.
Yeah, I felt pretty bad about that one.
My big issue is like most of the dumb shit I do, I feel bad about like 6 years a little later.
Yeah, most of the dumb shit that I did as a kid was like as a teenager, and it was like I'd play Xbox and I'd lie to a stranger and tell them that I could give them a 10th prestige lobby. I don't know, you probably don't know what that is, but
No, oh yeah, dude. I remember playing like MW2 and everybody.
Man.
Yeah. So I would
Fucking,
so I would tell kids, hey, I can give you a 10th prestige lobby, but you have to come into cage match with me and let me get 100 headshots, right?
So you can level up.
Yeah, so I could get the camos on my gun, and so I'd come in. We'd play 5 cage matches where they put down attack insert. I get the Call of Duty kill. They put down attack insert. Yeah, exactly. But very one-sided. Very one-sided, right? It's not like a you go, I go, you go, I go. At the end, we both have 20 kills. It's like I'm gonna get 20 headshots, and then I'm gonna get 20 headshots, and then I'm gonna get 20 headshots, and then I'm gonna give you a 10th prestige lobby. Except when it came time to give them the 10th prestige lobby, I just blocked communications. Yeah,
that's actually super funny.
Button, you are such a fucking asshole.
I feel pretty bad about that
What's
one.
your problem?
I feel bad about that.
That is so
one.
funny though, because people like OG like Xbox 360 like Call of Duty lobbies were so funny. Like everybody, you'd kill someone and they'd start screaming in game chat how they were gonna like DDoS you and like hack your game.
That's today. That's just Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Call of
I
Duty
played
now.
Call of Duty. I played Call of Duty for like the last decade.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah, the worst people play Call of Duty, and you always get the craziest people if you play at like a weird time of the day. So if you're like off work, you're like, man, I'm gonna play at 2 p.m. on this Wednesday. You know, no one's playing right now. Those people that play at 2 p.m. on Wednesday have nothing to lose, dude. They're gonna start talking crazy too.
That or you play at like 2 a.m. That's when you get the fucking.
Everyone's sweating.
Oh yeah.
Everyone's sweating
I've been
at
playing. I've been playing with my IRL friends, and I've been playing with Rabbit since the new one came out. We were like, all right, we got to do it. This one looks fun, and it does it. It's nostalgic. It feels kind of like 2008 all over again, which is funny.
Oh, does it?
The new COD?
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I've been
feel the same way.
enjoying it
I've been
a
having
lot.
a good time.
I've been
having
enjoying
a good
it a
time
lot.
playing it.
But
The new Warzone's fun.
New Warzone's
pubs
fun.
are kinda iffy.
DMZ's pretty fun. Our favorite
Yeah.
thing to do is talk trash and search and destroy. Like, we made these people quit the other day. They were up 4-1, and we were just joking around, whatever, right? And then we come back on them, right? They were talking shit the whole time, right? We come back on them, and then in the round to go up 5-4, right? The final kill cam was a riot shield, and this guy goes, "Oh man, you're so bad using that stupid riot shield." And I go, "You just died to a guy with no gun in a game about shooting. You're losing to old men. You should feel bad." And they left the game.
I
Right.
love it.
Like, it's.
I love it.
fucking deserve that shit.
I have so much fun talking trash in Call of Duty because it's like I'm never gonna see him. It doesn't actually mean anything, but like
Yeah.
Search and destroy rounds, telling people that they're bad at the game, they should uninstall, they need to they need to refund their game. It's pretty fun. So
Tyler, what was your biggest oh shit I fucked up moment?
When I was 4 years old, I egged my own house with my brother.
You've told us this.
That one was a pretty bad one. I got in a lot of trouble for that one. But to be fair, it was my brother's idea.
Okay.
So I blame.
I actually have a way bigger fuck up than that. Now that I've actually got to think about it.
Let's hear it. I want to hear yours.
Okay, so I have this best friend named Jake. We're still best friends. We've been best friends since we were 3. He used to bite me on the arm, and then he would bite himself on the arm, and then start crying, and then like run and get his mom and tell his mom that I bit him, so he bit me back, and he'd never get in trouble.
Is Jake a psychopath?
Maybe. Now he's a software engineer. But yeah, we're
seems he's doing fine.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love him to death. He's my best friend. Like we live in the same town. I'll probably see him later this week. We were on the phone literally the minute before I got on the podcast. But we were kids, and Jake's dad was a screamer. Like he would yell. He made me pee my pants one time because Jake's mom was like babysitting me, and she got rear-ended. And I told the police officer what happened, and he was very upset about that, so he screamed at me so loud that I pissed myself.
People up north are also just very loud in general.
Yeah.
Very mean also.
I don't know. I'm pretty
mean.
nice.
I think it's just very loud.
I'm pretty nice. But anyways, me and Jake thought it was...
I haven't seen you mad, though.
You have not seen... It's really hard to get me mad. Really hard.
Same.
It takes a lot.
Same.
But when it happens, it happens. But anyways, me and Jake are hanging out, and we go, it's a great idea. We should make fire. How do you make fire? With sticks? Duh. Right? Like, you rub 2 sticks together, you get fire. So we start rubbing these sticks, and we're like, this is not working. We have been rubbing these sticks all damn day. Well, you know what would help with sticks? Gasoline. Gasoline will help these sticks make fire. So we take a broken bucket, like for like playing in the sand. We go to the garage. We fill this broken bucket up with gasoline, and then we like carry it out front. And they find out, like our parents find out, because we spilled gasoline from basically the front door of the garage to like halfway to where we were rubbing these sticks together, because it was just spilling out of the broken bucket.
House burnt down.
Yeah, and it didn't, but it could have.
Thank God.
That was that was one of the biggest yellings that I've ever received. Was Jake's dad yelling at us for like spilling gas everywhere. That was the biggest fuck up.
Y'all, this is so hard for me.
Yeah, what's yours?
And I don't get why. Usually I've got some like type of outrageous like, aha, this is what I did, and 50 people died, haha. And then Tyler's like, oh, well, we are putting that in a TikTok, but for this one I don't actually have one.
You've never done anything wrong. Perfect angel, actually, as a kid.
No, I've never felt bad for anything I've done.
Dude, when I was a kid, when I was like 11, my baby sister was like 2 or 3, and we like lived out in the country kinda. We had like 3 acres, and I was like supposed to be watching my little sister while my parents were doing something inside. I was like outside, and we were like walking around, and I wasn't paying attention, and she didn't have any she had flip flops on, I think, like not closed shoes, and she stepped in an anthill, but like we live in the middle of nowhere, so anthills get really big, and I promise you, she was like shin deep in this thing, and I just turned around because she just like started screaming, and I was like, what the hell? So I turned around, and her whole legs are just covered in ants. So what do as a good brother? I pick her up, I tuck her under my arm like I'm running for the end zone, and the whole time I'm running back to the house, I'm just like smacking her legs to smack the ants off, which making her scream even worse. So then I ran inside and just turned on the sink, like the kitchen sink, and just stuck her in the sink because I didn't know what else to do. and was just washing her legs off to get the ants off. So I think I got in trouble for that one pretty well because I was supposed to be watching her and I let her get demolished by some fire ants, which is not fun.
Fire ants are no joke.
The fire ants are no joke. I thought I was gonna pass out one time. I like got bit on my foot by like so many fire ants. I thought I was gonna die.
I think I remembered one.
Let's hear it.
This was back when my grandmother was like babysitting me, and she was like taking me somewhere, and because I've always been a singer and shit, like I've always like maybe I'll hear a bell ring and go, ah, like I'll like match the tone of the bell. So I hear a noise while my grandmother's driving, and it's like very high. So what do? I fucking sing that note as loud as I can, and like she's like driving like, what the fuck just happened? And I'm like,
oh, singing.
What's your fucking problem, Granny? But
chill out, Granny.
Chill out, Granny. Bless her soul. But
I can't believe like you had such good stories about like your parents coming to your school because you tried to rob your class, and like that was your like, oh, I fucked up moment.
Hey.
This man tries
to
rob his whole class.
Dude, that's a funny clip. That's a funny clip. I'll send it to you after this.
Low key, I might be a psychopath because it's usually I don't feel bad for shit.
Yeah, we'll move along, but let's get that in check. We can talk about that after the pod because maybe that's not good.
Sounds good. So the next topic is if you could track your life stats, what is one stat you would be ashamed to see?
Oh man. One stat I'd be ashamed to see. I think,
like if you could track everything you've ever done in life in like a stat, you could see it on like a chart, like how much everything you've ever done. What is one you'd be like? That's fucked up.
Okay, I think the worst one would probably be like time wasted doing nothing. Like I would hate to see how much time I've spent like staring at my phone or like just sitting at my desk like in between things trying to find the motivation to do whatever's next.
Yeah.
I imagine I wouldn't be too happy with the number of thirst traps on the internet liked. I would say there's
them thirst traps do get you.
Yeah, I'd say their calories consumed or average daily calories consumed. That one might even out eventually. Probably not.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you, bud, and I think mine would be like time spent just like on a screen in general, whether it be like watching TV, like on my computer, playing Xbox, like on my phone. I'd probably like venture to guess that like 80% of all of my free time is in front of a screen, like throughout the duration of my life, which is probably not good. And like in the long run. Like every time I go to my like yearly optometrist, like my eyesight is always it's like always worse. They always have to bump up my prescription for my eyes, and they're like, "Do you spend a lot of time looking at screens?" Yes, I do. Thank you. Like 15 hours a day, actually.
Huh?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think years that I faded One Piece, I'd be really embarrassed about that one.
Bro. Oh my god, I fucking love One Piece.
Mitch is getting back into anime. Here he goes.
Dude,
oh shit.
One Piece is my favorite show ever. Button, you and I need to have a 2-hour fucking conversation.
Yeah.
Because I don't like anime, so y'all talk about it elsewhere.
I have been I've been powering through it. I'm almost through Whole Cake Island.
So you are very, very far, because with me, so I first got super into it back in 2015, which
Poor Big T.
was let's cut it off there. Let's continue the podcast, and then me and Button can talk about anime in a bit.
Yeah.
My thing I'm kind of ashamed on is like the amount of time I spent like simping being a fucking simp boy, which you like meet me and now, and you are like, this guy's a fucking sigma male. Like, how is he this cool?
Oh my
But
god.
that is because I have.
He's very humble, everyone.
That is because I have wasted like 4 years like simping for people that were either too high above me and thought too much about themselves, or people too low for me, where I feel like I wasted that time. Big T, why are you laughing, man?
Because you said you spent time wasting on people that were too low for you, dude. Like, they're just not cool enough.
He just egoed every girl that he's dated.
He said people thought too highly of themselves, or there's people also that are just below me.
Yeah.
So no matter where you land, you're not good.
Big T. Before you began dating your wife, look back at your past exes. These people weren't perfect for you, man. Right? So maybe I said it wrong. Right?
I think you just have like some emotional trauma from like females in your life.
Dude, honestly, Sam, that's why. But when Button said, "Who's your Cardano crush?" I fucking said Jub, because women are overrated.
Shout out Jub.
That's an interesting opinion. I like a lot of the women in the CNFT space.
Me, no, and okay, don't fucking pull that.
Yeah, let's cancel.
Listen,
Here we go.
So do you crush on all of them? See,
I have.
This is what I mean.
I have certainly had my Cardano crushes at any given time.
Me, and it's me.
It's not. I love you, but you never once have I. For me personally,
have you seen my man bun?
I see the man bun. It's a wonderful man bun, but here's the thing, right?
Button's got a man bun on this side of his head. Button's got a man bun going this way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how good of a fish you are. Not everybody likes fish.
Yeah.
Right? For me, if you like fish, great. I don't like fish. I'm more of a chicken kind of guy.
Rather than like searching for people, my goal is to find my Cardano BFF, and if she is a girl, then maybe we'll fall in love. But like this whole like simping a culture where you like search for somebody, I fucking give the fuck up on. Because you end up just digging yourself into a hole.
Well, I think that everybody searches for somebody in some capacity, right? Because nobody wants to be like lonely. So whether you like you stream every night because like your friends always are on there like shooting the shit with you on the game and like interacting with you, or like you're in the CNFT community because all your homies are over there. Like everybody like does something in their day-to-day life to like push them forwards to other people, because like nobody wants to be by themselves because that's boring. So
Agreed.
I think that maybe that's what I was saying. Maybe you don't want to simp for like a relationship, but as far as people are concerned, you know, I feel like everybody wants to be around people in some some aspect, whether you're introverted or not. Introverted people, like Button was saying earlier, like sometimes like that the people that are on their computer all day, like in the CNFT community, like that's their shit. You know what I mean? Like they don't want to go touch grass and talk to anyone outside of it, but like for them, like that's their friends. So that's like kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, if you walked around with like all of your life stats, just I picture it like what is that crazy show where it was like weird and it was on Netflix and it was like crazy shit all the time. Why can't I think of the name of the show? It was really popular in like 2019.
Stranger Things?
No, it was like weird. Like the episodes didn't like correlate at all, and it was like really
Black
weird
Mirror.
Like scenarios. That Black Mirror, yes, My man Button knows, and there's like the episode where people had like the points above their head and shit.
Yes.
I feel like that's what it would be.
Yes,
I
the
feel like
merits.
that's what it would be. Like, yeah, your merits. I feel like that's how your life stats would display. Like you'd walk around and you could just like scroll through them, and they'd be like above your head. And, like it would just like kind of pan like from one to the next.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be kind of like interesting because I feel like you would change people's behavior unwillingly because people would be embarrassed, right? So like all of their bad tendencies, they would like try. I feel like they would try to like hide them so their stat wouldn't be shown, which would be like
probably.
weird.
It's like every time you tell some little kid that you're going to give him a 10th prestige lobby and you just take 100 headshots from him, -5 points.
Yeah. Then you might be in the negatives.
But then you'd also go up a bunch because you manipulated somebody,
I think it'd make
which
you
is
go,
another tactic.
I think it'd make you go way down.
Yeah,
Right?
think that's
Like
my
I imagine in a
yeah.
social credit system like we're talking about, the idea of manipulation would not be looked upon well and would probably make your score go down.
But what? But the thing is,
government would be so fucking.
but there's
negative.
levels
So
to it,
it's-
right? Because if like the whole idea of having like a social credit system is like low key manipulative, right? Because you manipulate people's actions into performing better on certain things because you were like. You were basically playing off of like human nature, which is manipulative, right? So I feel like there's like levels to it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hey man, I'm just a free thinker, you know. Big T. They call me Big T because I'm a big thinker. That's what the T stands for.
What does? Never mind. I know what the
That's
T stands
dumbest thing
for.
ever.
Yeah.
Stands
Big
for
thinker.
Big thinker.
All
I'm
right.
like not even gonna say anything after that. But that's the
I'll
dumbest
keep
shit
us.
I've ever heard.
I'll keep
This-
us moving along.
This next topic was sent by Kanye West himself, and the topic is
You made it worse.
if you could wipe one group of people off the earth, who would it be? Please elaborate on the
I
question.
think it's not
Because
like
that
we're not
sounds so
talking
bad.
about. We're not talking about like ethnic groups or races or anything. It's like people who have like a specific like hobby or like a specific attribute that's really annoying. Like I would knock off the people that drive around in big really like huge trucks for no reason. Like they just think it's cool. That's the people I'm wiping out. Like because like that shit is so annoying. Like why are you driving in like a F-350 and it's like lifted off the ground and you're going to like you're going to like work at your office job in a ginormous truck? Like I hate that shit.
Going off of that, another group of people I hate are the people.
I didn't say I'd
that
hate
drive-
him. I just said if we were forced to knock a group off, that's who I'm knocking off.
Oh, he's backtracking after he made this fucking Kanye West ass question. But the people that like drive like motorbikes between lanes.
The fact that you just
that-
called it a
that
motorbike instead of a motorcycle really throws me. It really throws me.
Motorbicycle better. Motor bicycle.
Have you
Moped.
let the word motorcycle?
Motor bicycle.
Or people would just call them bikes. Like you could have said anything but a motorbike.
Now I'm picturing some like scrawny kid just on the highway on his mountain bike, just pedaling away, trying to keep up with traffic.
That'd be so fucked up. No, I will say that is really annoying though, because it scares the shit out of me when they come like
Right?
zipping past me.
So is it illegal to do that in North Carolina because it is
To
in
lane
Texas?
to lane split, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, but people do it, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to turn into a cop and shoot your bitch ass. That shit pisses me off. But
I don't mind people who lane filter. You motorcycle riders are safe with Button.
But
I didn't say it bothered me; it
mind-
just scares me. I would never ride a bike. I always think riding a bike would be cool, like riding a motorcycle would be cool, and then I'm like terrified that someone would just hit me.
So I want a motorcycle pretty bad. I've always said I would never end up getting one because I'm pretty clumsy and I would definitely die on it. But
hey, life's short, man.
yeah, I think I was having a midlife crisis at 26 because I got really into wanting a motorcycle. But my ultimate opinion on it is that It's dangerous for sure, but if you are a smart rider and you control the things that you can control, there's not as much risk as it seems, right? Like if you and I did this because I was scared shitless and I was like, I need to figure out if riding a bike's for me, and I spent like months, and I mean months.
So you did your own research like
Yeah.
we do when we're engaging with projects.
Oh, 100%.
Do your own research.
Watching motorcycle accidents. Right? Like I would
Right,
watch
that's
like the
terrifying.
first person point of views of like what they were doing and what happened.
Like they got a GoPro on their helmet,
Exactly.
and like they're
Yeah.
flying off the bike. Okay,
Yeah.
that's terrifying.
And what I found is that like 95% of the time, the reason for the accident was they were going too fast, they were doing something stupid, or they weren't prepared properly. Right? And it's like, oh, well, maybe if I just don't go 40 miles over the speed limit, when something when another driver swerves into my lane, I'll have time to react to it. Right?
Yeah.
Motorcycles go faster and they stop faster than cars. Right? You can also do things like lane filtering, right? Which will allow you to get out of situations right? Like you can, if you're about to get hit by a car.
You're more agile. Yeah, you're way more agile on a bike than in a car.
Yeah, like you can just avoid an accident by driving into the other lane that you're not supposed to be driving into and then getting back in your lane. Right? Like a lot of the time.
Right.
Right? And so,
Yeah.
again, if you're a potential motorcycle rider out here, do not take this as financial advice, right? Like, go take a motorcycle training lesson. Button doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Right? But it's like, oh, well, maybe that accident wouldn't have been so bad if I didn't go 60 miles an hour down the road when the speed limit is 25 and it's rush hour. Right? Like, and obviously, you can't control if a car is just not paying attention or pulls out in front of you. But it's like a lot of the accidents that I saw in my months of watching accident videos every day, the majority of them were like, oh, yeah, this wasn't my fault, right? Like, they pulled out in front of me. But if I was doing something different, because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to, I would have been able to react to that better. And most likely avoid the accident altogether.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it doesn't make sense. Because you can never know what the other person's gonna be doing.
Agreed.
So maybe they're talking on the phone. Maybe they're fucking playing Pokemon Go, going fucking 90 miles per hour. You would never know what they're gonna do. So to not be driving a car and instead get a bike where there's no seatbelt, there's no protection.
But I feel like you could make
Bikes make less and less sense.
You can kind of like roll that argument into anything. Like, why drive a car when I can drive an SUV? More metal, it'll protect me better. Why drive an SUV? I could drive a tank. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're always going to have a safer option.
Dude,
So bike is very, very
so-
clearly the most dangerous of any vehicle. There's no disagreements there. And you can't control what you do on the road. Or let me rephrase, because you can't control what you do. You can't control what other people do on the road, right? If somebody's texting and driving and swerving like an idiot, right, they might hit you. If somebody isn't paying attention and doesn't see you and pulls out in front of you, you might hit them, or there might be a crash, right? If somebody blows a red light, right, and you're going through it, you might get hit. It's very possible. But what I have found is that a lot of the times when those happen, the reason that the accident wasn't avoided ultimately, and 100% the accident was caused by the car driver, but that accident could have been avoided if the motorcycle driver was doing something different, right? Like, they can't help that the car pulled out in front of them and cut them off, but they can help that they were going 20 miles over the speed limit and didn't have time to stop for that car, right? They can't help that car is swerving, but they can help that they didn't pay attention to it to see that was happening and make sure that there was enough distance, or speed up really fast and get in front of it, right? So I think ultimately, I don't think it makes sense to, right, like if you don't want to go on a bike because you think it's dangerous, it is dangerous, and you probably shouldn't go on a bike. Yeah. But I also don't think it's worth saying, well, you don't do something because other people could ruin it. Like, yeah, they could, but also if you're conscious and smart about it, like, you're gonna be okay, probably.
We also live in
Not
America
financial
where
advice.
other people we also live in America where other people ruin everything all the time. That are supposed to
Yeah,
be normal activities.
so I found
So-
out. This is a funny story. So I've always been a very passive driver, right? Like there's no need for me to
Same.
get anywhere quicker. I'm not cutting anybody off in traffic or whatever.
Right,
And
I'll just
then-
leave 5 minutes early. There's no reason
exactly.
to stress.
Right? It's like, oh, this is backed up. Well, I'll just sit on the highway for 15 minutes, right? Like I don't care all that much. It
Right.
is what it is.
Right.
But I had a friend dropping me off at the airport, and she was driving.
Yeah.
And it is like the exit traffic is backed the hell up, right? I'm talking like a mile probably, right? Of just
Yeah.
a line for this one exit. And I'm like, yo, you got to get in the line. She's like, no, not yet. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I'll just cut somebody off. Like, I'm like, what? You can't do that. She's like, it'll be fine. And she gets literally right up to the exit and cuts somebody off. And she's like, see, we just saved 15 minutes. And I think a lot of people in America have that mindset.
Yeah. Being a Uber driver, that in a way is like kind of pushed, like because you get paid by the mileage and not by the time
Yep.
time in the car. So that 15 minutes I could have made $10, but instead I'm just waiting behind 50 cars for 15 minutes, so it's like kind of hard. But
I don't
going back
Yeah.
to what Tyler was talking about, where like if every bad driver was driving a SUV, then fuck it, I'd get a SUV. If every bad driver was driving a fucking tank, going fucking 90 miles per hour, then
Dude, that'd be
fuck
incredible if you could go
Fuck
90 in a
it.
tank. That'd be
Fuck
wild.
it, I'd buy a goddamn tank, man.
Yeah, I'd fuck around in a tank. I'm down.
But the
You're going to Dunkin'? You're going to Dunkin' Donuts in a tank? Hey,
Yeah,
man.
every morning, bro. Every morning.
the
Get my cold brew.
big issue is that there's mostly bad people driving cars, and to get something worse than a car, to me makes no sense. To my family doesn't, and kind of going off of what Button was saying like 15 minutes ago is there was a time where to be honest I kind of wanted a motor bicycle.
A motorbike.
Bro, you are making
I also wanted-
making a whole group of people angry.
I also
Now-
wanted a
now I'm doing
motorized
it.
bicycle as well. That'd be awesome. Hey,
But-
but you know what's more elite than a motor bicycle? The electric scooters that they have downtown in places. Those things rip. Those things are fun.
Dude, I fucking told you that I got a motorized skateboard, and that shit fucking went fast, like fucking 30 miles per hour, going between.
I think the scooter
kids.
would be better because you can you hold on to something. Like I feel on the skateboard, like you're just kind of bobbing.
Yeah.
Well, if you are a penis, then you can get a scooter, but I'm kind of a bad bitch, so.
What does
Alright,
that
well,
even
that is-
mean?
There's a lot of things when Stutter says something, you just move on to the next topic, like I'm about to do, because whatever you said makes no sense.
This is me trying to change topics.
So I just pivot.
He didn't
so
want to
what
talk
I do
about
is
the
I
motor
pivot.
bicycles anymore. Got it.
Yeah, no more motor bicycles. Here we go. Mitch, I'd rather you read this question because it'll
No,
be funny. It'll be
this
funny
is
coming
your
from
question, though.
you. Okay.
Send it to
All
me.
right.
I'll read it.
All right, Button. Here it is. Are you prepared?
Yeah. Are you putting it in the chat?
No. Oh, yeah. I can put it in the chat. Yeah, we've actually never had a guest read a topic. This is a new one.
first time ever.
Baby.
Here we go, Button. Sending it in the chat now.
It's pretty fucking greasy.
All right, Button. You're up next. You're up next, Button. Let's hear it. Button can't even read these laughing.
You guys.
I saved the best one for you.
Okay. If your partner had to wear a mask every time you had sex for the rest of your life, what mask would you pick?
This is easy. I'd pick the. No, you get one mask.
There's multiple avenues you could go down though, because you could be like, wow, this hero's like such a badass, or you could be like, maybe I'll get a mask of like some famous actor or something. But to be honest, that doesn't sound nearly as awesome.
No, I think it'd have to be like a normal mask that you would see all the time.
Like superheroes or.
Yeah, or just like a normal mask, like the Wisconsin cheese head, something like that you would put on your head.
That's not a mask.
No,
that's a hat.
That was what I was gonna say. Mitch took my answer. I was gonna put the good Charlotte Clay horse mask. Like they have the horse head.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Bro, on the GC Clays, that's what I'm picking.
You just want to fuck a horse then.
No, I feel like it would. I think it would make things enjoyable because I would laugh the whole time because it looks silly.
Bro, while your fucking wife is also laughing.
That's what I'm saying. I think it would be funny. So I'm picking the horse mask.
I'm going with a straight paper bag.
You're doing like that, like the New Orleans Saints when they went 0-16 and everyone's wearing the bag with the eyes cut out.
Yeah,
that's pretty sick.
Paper bag gang.
Paper bag, but that'd be cool because then you could draw on it. So you could draw like eyebrows on, and you could just kind of like do it your own way.
I could go wild with my imagination.
Yeah, yeah. You could do like
one day you got straight eyebrows, next day now they're curly.
Yeah, the creativity abounds in that situation. But I really appreciate that answer. Great answer.
Y'all are gonna be wearing a fucking bag and a horse mask?
What are you guys? You really want to bang a girl wearing a Scream mask? You're really excited to fuck Jason Voorhees?
Here comes Motorbike Man with his great answer.
Yeah, he's gonna pull up on his motorbike with his girlfriend wearing a Jason mask.
No, that's weird.
Mitch, what's your answer?
Very weird. So I'm thinking, I'd kind of like it to be some like superpower female, because it's like damn, I fucking got Wonder Woman to.
But she just wears like a headband.
Yeah, that's not a mask, bro. It's got to cover the face. It doesn't have to cover the whole head, but it's got to cover the face.
Oh shit.
Or what's the movie? I can't think of the name. Button. What's the famous movie that's like based up where they like rob the banks and they're dressed as like the nuns with the face?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That one would be sick. Like just like a nun mask. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
Hold on, I need to look it up. What the movie's called?
All right, honorable mention: a Rey Mysterio mask.
Dude, that's so good. Rey Mysterio is so good.
My childhood hero.
Actually, same. Him and Eddie Guerrero.
Dude, I was a dumb kid who didn't realize that Rey and Eddie weren't actually having a dispute over Rey's son's paternity.
Oh, same.
So I was like pretty mad at Eddie Guerrero when he died.
Oh, it's called The Town. Button. It's called The Town.
Yes.
That's what the movie. Dude, it's fire.
Something I don't get is that's like super popular now are these like masks where the mouth holes open and then the fucking eye holes are open.
You're talking about a ski mask? Is what you're describing?
Why is that a fucking thing, man?
Ski mask
the thing is, there's people that live in cold regions where it snows.
Well, yeah. Do you want to be ugly or do you want to be frostbitten?
Bro.
Ski masks
I'm sure
are
it's
wild.
cold where Button's at.
There's a whole girl on TikTok named the Ski Mask Girl that
I know
only wears a ski mask
with the pink ski mask. I know what you're talking about.
And she's cute.
She's cute in what you see.
Yeah, I mean,
Mitch, are you going to give us an answer on this one? I'm really concerned about you.
He's
That you
like
don't have a
Googling
good answer prepared.
He would do one of the Lovelace Club masks.
I feel like Mitch would just go with the standard, like really scary Halloween, the white one, where it's just white plastic.
let's do a black disposable fucking COVID mask.
COVID mask? That'd be a good one.
Joking. See, my thing is why would I not want to see this person's face?
Well, you
It's
would.
a
You
question.
would.
It's just we're bullshitting. What do you mean? Or
Yeah,
hey,
but
another honorable
obviously
mention.
you want to,
you know that
unless they had a lazy eye.
another honorable mention. You know the bait putties that zip all the way up to the head. It just zips up through like the hood.
Then
The bait putties. That'd be cool.
then I can't even see her boobs though.
This got a
You
little.
find
deep.
out. You figure out a way.
Why?
Mitch, you're really like in the weeds of this one, and I'm really concerned.
Yeah, you're pretty.
Wait. Give me time, guys.
I mean, coming off the motorbike, the incident, I don't really know if you can redeem yourself on this one.
Maybe like a spider girl. Maybe that. That'd be kind of sexy. Where it's like
Gwen Stacy
very
mask?
white. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool. I
kind
like
of
that.
that.
One. I like that one.
Because it's kind of seductive, kind of sexy. Like it's not a fucking horse mask.
You could go for
So
the.
I
You
don't
could go for a
feel
Honker
like I'm
Jones.
fucking a horse.
You could go for the Honker Jones mask, the all leather.
So,
Dude, but I
Honker
think you've introduced like what I'm gonna make as a new thing going on, forward. Where at some random
Yeah.
point in the pod, I'm just gonna be like, all right, it's your turn, and just reserve a question
Yeah.
for the guest.
Make
That'd
sure
be
that they
awesome.
get the wild ones like this, because
That's what I'm saying. That's what's funny because you get to pick what they get, so it's really good. I like that idea a lot. Buttons out here, just re-energizing the community with new shit.
oh yeah, just
he does this.
one day
He
at a
does this.
time.
That's right.
If my partner had to wear
All
a
right.
mask.
Well, I think we're burnt out on the mask since we just talked about the mask for forever.
Yeah.
Can you,
Oh
Mitch?
my
You're not
gosh.
even in the frame.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm too
Alright.
short. I'm just such a short king.
You're not even short.
I thought
I met you
thought you were
IRL.
single.
You're like 5'11" and a half.
Mitch came back from CNFT-Con. He was like, "Dude, everyone there is
No.
really short, dude." I was
No,
like,
I'm
"Everyone
a
said
short
everyone's
king.
tall."
No, I'm a short king. I'm like everybody else, guys. Please.
I'm super excited for Con this year, though. Side comment.
Dude,
Con's gonna be
I
sick.
cannot
I didn't get to
wait.
go this past year.
You are just excited to share a bed.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting
Yeah,
getting a queen room.
No, we're getting a twin bed.
Lord have mercy. Okay, moving along.
So, what real world problems are you most bullish on blockchain solving? My number one thing is like just the fact that there will be a ledger for fucking everything.
Yeah, I think voting for me is the biggest one.
Dude, why do you keep stealing? Voting is mine. Voting was literally mine.
Yeah, blockchain
Gotta be
voting.
faster, man.
Blockchain voting is really good. You could, in theory, run like a national election on a blockchain and have every single vote verified. So
And then instead of getting a sticker, you get an NFT that says "I voted" with the like the circle with the red and blue.
in the year, that would be cool.
Maybe I might even vote then if they sent me a NFT.
Yeah, I mean,
You gotta vote.
you should probably vote regardless. I won't get super
Yeah, you should
political, but that's how
I will.
Yeah, that's how we choose like how our country is going to be run. It's probably pretty important that you participate if you live here.
Or if I believe in the political system.
No one does, but you have to participate. With what you
Yeah,
got.
so
See,
it's a double-edged sword.
my thing is give me somebody I like and I'll do it. But if there's not somebody I like, then I'm not gonna do it. And I'm sorry if that makes y'all mad, but this is not the
I'm so mad.
future I'm voting for.
So
So
I guess I have a couple stances on that, right? Because on one hand, I agree with you, right? Give me somebody I like. But I would imagine that out of all of the candidates, right, there is probably one that you would like. But
no.
But how much research do you do?
Yeah,
into all
that's
candidates
the
is
thing,
real
right?
question,
Like-
because I feel like you don't. I don't feel like you don't do a lot.
yeah, like
See,
you
like,
have to.
you're like,
you have
I
to
don't
think.
like.
See,
There
my-
were over.
Mitch is like
There were over 200
like the kid-
candidates for
Mitch is
the
like the kid that
2020
like
election.
that says he doesn't like mustard because it tastes bad, but has never tried mustard. He just doesn't like.
Bruh, first off, a big difference in drinking, eating mustard, and
Agreed.
voting for somebody that will fucking change our policies for the
But
next
one way or
4
the
years.
other, someone's going to change it. Is what I'm saying. So I feel like
Yes.
we're gonna go down a really
Yes.
big rabbit hole that I'm very well like I'm happy to participate in, but I just don't know if everyone would be.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit anymore. I'll get canceled. Fuck voting for somebody I don't believe in. That's my
I agree.
I believe in ranked choice voting. More than anything.
Yes, I am a huge advocate for ranked choice voting. I think it's the best system. That being said, I imagine that you would be able to find a political candidate that you did agree with, because there's political candidates from all spectrums, right? Whether you're very far left, very far right, somewhere between, there's some candidate that is running for president that agrees with at least 80 or 70% of the things you believe, and maybe they differ in some, but ultimately it ends up coming down to two. But if everybody has the attitude, well, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't matter, because my vote doesn't count, or because I don't care about this candidate, right? That's a vote that's not being cast for your candidate at all, and it will never change that system. One of the things is like how third parties get funded, for example, is based on like how any party gets funded, Democratic, Republican, or a third party. It's based on the votes they receive, right? So if you find a candidate that you really vibe with, but they're not Republican or Democrat, and you don't vote for them because, well, neither of them are going to win anyways, well, next year or next election cycle, when somebody from that party wants to run, they're not going to be able to have the funding because nobody voted for them because it doesn't matter, right? So it ends up in this like circular system where it's like, well, I don't vote because it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter because I don't vote. So I don't vote because it doesn't matter.
Then we need a bigger movement to where it does matter. You telling 75 people that will watch this that voting does matter, that doesn't change shit. Like so I do get what you're going at, and I do agree with that. But we need a mass movement to get more people to vote, where my vote would count. I
just think your mindset's wrong though, right? Because if you're like, my vote doesn't count, but like 100,000 people also think the same way, then no one's like, you're not doing anything to like benefit anybody. You know, like you're.
Yeah. No. What I'm doing is benefiting myself because I'm not being boggled down by this political system.
You live in it. You live under it regardless of if you vote or not. You live under that system.
Yeah, I guess that's the ultimate thing is, right, like one candidate, don't like one candidate, regardless of if you vote or not, what the winning candidate decides affects you, and my opinion is that if you're going to be affected by it, you should probably have a say in it, right? Like they take your money, right? They take your taxes every year. You should at least
no. I don't pay any of those.
Well, yeah, one day.
And to the IRS, this is a joke. NFA.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
To all the IRS agents.
So if your partner had to wear a mask.
No, I like blockchain solving voting. I also like it solving like menial tasks that you do with like government offices that take way too long for like really simple shit. Like if you lost your birth certificate and had to go get another and like have to put in like a request to get another one, it takes like 3 weeks. Yeah. And you have to like, provide all kinds of documentation to prove that you're you, rather than like it just being stored on the blockchain so you could just always access it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess the problem no, I guess blockchain fixes it. Never mind.
Yeah, because you got like a security chain built on a chain, like Midnight's going to be.
Yeah, no, I was like, well, then anybody could just access anybody's birth certificate and use it, but there's ways around that. That's not really an issue. Yeah, I think some of the stuff it does for supply chain is great, right? Like, imagine a day where you can get your milk, and your milk has a little QR code on it, and you can scan it, and you can see which cow it came from. and which farm that cow is on, and all the things that cow had eaten, and all of the different trucks that milk was sitting in.
Good thing I don't like milk because that shit's gross.
I also don't like milk.
I
love cheese.
I love cheese.
I
I'm a slut for
actually
cheese.
Ubered a guy. I actually Ubered a guy that his current job is he is the person like talking to lawyers, kind of building this context where like there will be like piece of meat sent fucking everywhere where they will have a barcode, a QR code that will do this. So it's like kind of happening even now, but very, very slowly. My big thing would be like seeing like government spending and all of that,
Yeah.
and kind of
That's awesome.
being able to see a ledger. I know I'm so awesome, but seeing a ledger where
I'm gonna be like, you paid 20 grand for a desk? Fuck, I'm gonna be screaming.
You sent $10 million to Russia for the war versus Ukraine. What the fuck? But things like that the government needs to be liable for, but they're not because they don't have to be. And then on top of that, going to talking about taxes, seeing where my taxes are going, you could also use the blockchain for that. So it's things like that fixes so many problems.
I wonder if we could do it. I wonder if we could do it to where every state had a pool, and if I didn't like my pool, I could stake to a different state's pool for their
Texas
taxes.
pool, baby.
Be like, my boy Button said them roads
Yeah.
are rough. I'm gonna stake to Connecticut this year, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Kind of going off of that.
That'd be
like,
cool, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
that'd be fucking sick, though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree. I think blockchain is exciting for a lot of different IRL uses, but some of the political ones are really good. I think for school records, it'll be really, really great, right? For education, having basically like a standard where, you earn this credit from this class, well, it's issued to your wallet that's tied to your ID, right, that you have, and everybody can see, and it's permanently asphyxiated to that wallet, right, because or to that ID, or whatever, right, and you can, that's how you apply for your degree, is you go to an app and you say, okay, look, I have all the credits, give me my degree, or whatever.
Completely, man. And then you could also do that with like video games. You could do that with like concert tickets. You could do that with like shopping online. You could follow that and see where it gets sent to next. Where there's not like somebody just pocketing fucking all of this money.
Yeah, I think too, right? Like, so NFTs specifically, for example, right? You look at their use cases and what they do, right? I think it's inevitable eventually, one day, when you go to AMC and you get a movie ticket, or when you go to, Gillette Stadium to watch the Patriots play, or you go to the DMV to get a title for your car, or you go to Rocket Mortgage and you get a deed to your house, right? Like, those things are going to come in the form of non-fungible tokens, because it makes sense, because they're non-fungible things, right? And so, I guess a movie ticket is kind of fungible, but it also works as a non-fungible token. Right.
Makes sense.
It's only going to give you admission to a certain show in a certain location at a certain time. But there's multiple. I guess if you went down to the seat number, it becomes non-fungible. But, right? So, like, that's where I think the technology is going, right? Like, I think there will be a day when, first of all, I think for it to happen, people will not know that they're using crypto or blockchain, right? Like, they'll just have an app.
Yeah.
They'll have an app, and that app will, on the back end, be connected to a wallet, and you'll never know that it's called a wallet. Yep. It's just going to be an app, right, for your movie tickets. and then you're gonna say, "Oh, I want to go see, Avengers 20," and you buy the movie ticket, you go, you scan your phone, just like you do now. The only difference is, at the end of the day, you're gonna own the ticket stub, and you'll be able to sell it as a collectible.
You can kind of like see that now, like with what I was saying, where there kind of is a barcode on some type of meats that's not directly linked to crypto currently, but give it 15, 20 years, crypto's gonna become much bigger into that, but that will come with like regulations and all, which we will see it now because of things like Celsius, like fucking FTX blowing up, where now the governments kind of have to do something, and no matter how bad it is, it's gonna be good for crypto.
Yeah, I think regulation in the space is needed. And it's needed badly.
I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, a lot of people would say, "Oh, we don't want regulation. I can't believe they're going to come in." It's like, how is anybody supposed to put
And then they're like, "Why am I
money?
Rugged?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How is
Or
anybody?
why is my exchange locking my funds and I can't do anything with it? Like,
Yeah.
but you can't have your
Exactly,
cake and eat it too.
exactly.
Like, you can't hate regulation and also like despise shit that happens due to lack of regulation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest ironies of the entire thing is that basically, like the FTX collapse is going to go as this big red stain on crypto. Oh my gosh, users had their funds locked. They couldn't get it. The crypto steals all their money. And in practicality, the FTX crash was caused as a direct result of opposing crypto principles. Right? Like, FTX is a centralized entity. Crypto's all about decentralization, right? FTX was holding your funds. Crypto is all about self-custody.
And that's why it's good. Like it's not good for those that like lost out, the retail investors. Like, that's fucked up. But at the end of the day, it's like good that like these types of institutions implode, because like we don't like need those around. Like, we don't have space for those, right? Like, in a decentralized world, centralized like exchanges and things like that aren't going to be like necessary or good.
Agreed.
To have around. So the more decentralized shit is, the better.
I talked to a guy that had $2 million in FTX when it imploded.
That sucks.
Were you talking to Tom Brady?
That's a bad beat.
But, dude, honestly, fuck.
That number was like 750 million.
Yeah.
And he gave half of it to
He'll be
Giselle.
right.
Or like a bunch of it to Giselle.
Damn.
That's why we say, not your keys, not your crypto.
Facts.
But this is not financial advice.
That's NFA. But
anyways, it's been about 2 hours and 2 minutes. We very much appreciate having you on, Buttons.
Thank you, Button.
Dude, this has been awesome. It was pretty fun, dude. I had a blast hanging out with you guys.
Shoot me your name on whatever platform you play on for Call of Duty.
Oh,
after
definitely, 100%.
We'll run some games. I have like a busy day today and tomorrow, but maybe Friday.
DM me your Activision ID. I don't know the numbers on mine. I can't get them. I don't know why. I've been trying for like weeks.
Okay, cool. I'll pull mine up later and send it to you.
I can add you that way.
Perfect.
Button, do you have anything you'd like to pimp before we end it?
Anything I would like to pimp.
He asks everybody.
What a statement.
Anything you'd like to pimp.
Maybe dead.
I think he means
rabbits,
chill, but pimp
maybe
sounds cooler.
Your own bag.
Listen, I got some stuff I want to show.
He has no bag. They're paper handed.
Yeah, I paper handed my bags. I paper handed my bags. That's true. All right. Dead Rabbits. Weapons Mint is coming Q1 2023. Moles are coming. Mole Wars is coming. Dead Rabbits is just getting started. I am super excited. We have weapons. We have moles. We have battle class NFTs. You're going to be able to battle any NFT in the Cardano ecosystem that you own. You're going to be able to battle your rabbit, your moles. I am super excited. I'm taking the top of the leaderboards. No one is going to stop me. I am topping all 3 leaderboards: moles, rabbits, and outlanders. You heard it here
Let's
first.
go.
You're good. You catch me if you can.
That's the alpha.
Challenge accepted, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're going down, bro. You might
All right, now I gotta go get a rabbit now so I
might-
can participate in all
you
this
might
madness.
get accepted. You might get second place.
Maybe.
Might get second.
Well, anyways, guys, we do appreciate you guys watching this entire episode, and if you did enjoy it, go down and drop a like, and maybe sub, maybe drop a comment if you did enjoy Button, because I know for a fact that we loved having ButtonGlover come on and talk to us about everything from motor bicycles to fucking NFTs to fucking adoption to fucking having sex in horse masks.
This was a wild one.
We're Degens.
This
This
is
is
a wild
what we
one.
do.
We are Degens. This is a blast. Thank you
This
guys
is
so
what we
much
do.
for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right, man.
And we will see you next time on the Degen Report.
Go bye.
Peace.
Bye, guys.